What is design build versus design bid build? I love this topic. This is my jam. Let's talk about it now. I do want to say sometimes we have to still do design bid build contract delivery methods. So if we're going to or we have to, which we shouldn't technically, what are the risks? And so in this video, I will discuss the differences between these contract delivery methods, explain why CM at risk and design build, and I would say for that matter, IPD are superior, and explain what you should watch out for in your career in reference to these methods. So design build and design bid build are two wildly different contract delivery methods. So let me give you a little bit of a background here. Design bid build really started to come about when regulations for construction and construction contracting really started to clamp down on the industry. And what happened was that everybody cinched up and siloed up so much that then we ended up with this very non-integrated, destructive contract delivery method. And so when you go to the Design Build Institute of America and earn that certification and go through that training, you learn about the Spearin gap. And the Spearin gap is the gap between the requirement of the contractor to build what's on the plans and specs and the requirement for the designers to design a building according to normal standards of care. Normal standards of care will say, hey, the designers don't have to be perfect, right? And it also says the contractors only have to build what's on the plans and specs, not assume or be at risk for anything in between. So this gap is on the owner, right? So when you do CM at risk projects, then that gap really narrows because the builder, the construction manager who will then be at risk to build that project, has been a part of the design, and so we have a better design, and they have more accountability to carry that out for a guaranteed maximum price. In design build, in my perspective, and design build CM at risk in a lot of ways are very similar, but design build, because the design and the construction of the project are happening under the same contract, that really narrows, if not disappears completely, to where the design, or the one entity, whether it's the designer, but it's typically the contractor, is responsible for the design and the execution of the project. So they can't say, oh, owner, you pay for it. No, I did the design, I am doing the construction, I am responsible for that gap, right? And then in integrated project delivery methods, that Spearin gap really doesn't exist. The other thing that I want to say is that the integration that you're able to get in CM at risk, design build, IPD is amazing. Let me rant just for a second. This is what happens in a design bid build project. They design it, the owner and the designers, in a silo, without the contractors, without feedback, without input, okay? Then they send it out to bid and they get the lowest price. They get the lowest bid, which does not mean lowest cost. It may mean that the contractor absolutely sucks. And then once they select a contractor, they're like 1, 2, 3, go. So if you look statistically and historically at what makes projects fail, like you have all of the components of a failed project right there. Doing things in a silo without integration, fail. Not planning the project with the builders, that is a predictor of failure. Not using the right systems throughout because you're forced to start the next day and you do not have the time to set up your systems, fail. Actually having a team that's been told, hey, welcome, you're on the project, you get to start next week, you haven't planned it, go. Then you have people who they have not experimented with the project and they might not have experience with it. And sometimes they don't even have the training to do the job. That is a predictor of failure. The other thing is, you will always get in trouble when you focus on lowest cost because you are getting the cheapest, bottom of the barrel, I'm going to change order you to death contractor. So everything about the system is setting you up to fail. Everything about design bid build is preparing the architect and the contractor to start making cases for why the owner should pay more money and why it's each other's fault. It is literally the equivalent of putting rival gang members into a cage with knives and having them like knife each other and see who wins. Design bid build, I cannot stand it because it does not allow the time for the planning, it does not allow for integration, it does not select the right contractor, and it does not finish the design, and you're going to find all of those problems in construction. I believe this hurts and harms people. I do not like this method. So that's my rant. Now we'll move on. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about some of the details of design, meaning you design it, then you bid it, then you build it, right? So this is a sequential process that are all disconnected and not integrated. They are set up with separate contracts, and like I said, in design, bid, build, we have that Spearin gap where the contractor is only required to build what's on the plans and specs, and the designer is only required to meet normal standards of care. So any gaps in between, the owner has to pay for, and both sides are spending most of their time simply writing RFIs, submitting change orders, and arguing with each other. The other thing about design, bid, build is that there's competitive bidding. So most of the time you're looking for the lowest bid, which means you get the lowest quality contractor, which means you're setting yourself up for a disaster. And there is a clear division of responsibilities. So that means that everything is like talking to government bureaucracy with lots of paperwork and lots of red tape and lots of processes. So to get anything done and to get anybody to communicate to the other person takes at least 3 weeks, lots of paperwork and lots of wasted time. In design build, however, this is how it's structured. You have an integrated team. That means the designers and the builders are together in proximity as one team, working together and motivated to enable each other's success. There is a single point of responsibility. That means whoever your design builder is has responsibility for the design and construction. One point of contact, one person responsible. Owner doesn't have to fight between two people that hate each other. One source of responsibility. It's amazing. Collaboration is another key. Because they're all part of that one team, they're able to collaborate, right? Instead of an RFI being, let me go ahead and write a book, send it off, wait 3 weeks, argue about it, get it back, have it be wrong. No. They're one team, sometimes even in the one office. They're motivated to do verbals, then confirming, provide real-time answers that have financial approval. You can streamline the RFI process, the submittal process, even the phase design, every single aspect of it. The collaboration increases with the builders and the designers, and you have a better end product. And the last one is you have a faster project delivery. Now, you can get in trouble with this, so hold on. If you are doing a phased design effort and you're like, okay, we're going to get out the foundations package, then the structure and the exterior, then interiors, then right, you're going to separate this out. The key here is do not waste people's time. I'll give you one example. Most people, when they do phased design, they do a high-level brushstroke on the design. Then, because we have to start construction, meaning that the inserts and the decks require the coordination of the overhead MEP, the BIM teams and a lot of other folks, our trade partners, coordinate that. Then they actually go full swing into designing the interiors, and then it all changes and we have to coordinate that thing all over again. I have seen phased design tank projects if it's not done right. Here's how we should do it. When you do a phased design, however you break out your phases, make sure that, like that example where the decks need the inserts, need the overhead coordination, make sure your design packages or your phase design account for that. Make sure you finish that design, it's collaborative, it's integrated, and you focus on one process flow and you're actually ready to build that phase, and you can speed up the overall delivery, but you have to work in one piece flow. Do not batch that. I've seen that go wrong in the past. So I'm sure you can probably tell right now that I love me some design build. Like, I think you have an opportunity, read any books about it. Go to the DBIA 5-day course to go get certified. I did, and it was the best thing that I've ever done in my career. I learned so much. And so, like I said, I love design build. I love IPD. I love CM at risk. Like, I do not like design bid build. Here's some reasons why design build is superior. It is more efficient. There's more accountability. You have an integrated team that can actually be successful. There's early involvement with the contractors and the trade partners, so we have better decisions from the start. You can have faster project delivery with overlapping phases that are done right in one process flow. Cost savings and budget control with things like value engineering are more effective, and we get a better end outcome instead of the fighting. Design build contracts often work from a fixed price or a guaranteed maximum price, which really allows the team to focus on that target, design to that target, and that gives cost certainty to the owner. Change management is more effective, streamlined, and reasonable. Most of the risk is transferred to the design builder, so the person who's responsible for planning and executing the job has more accountability. I love that. And 10, there is a unified vision and people are heading in the same direction instead of being in that knife fight. And so I know that this might not be the best fit for everyone, right? You might still have a need for a design bid build project. I don't know why. Like, I still haven't heard the reasons why. I wish we could just get rid of them altogether. But you might need to employ CM at risk, design build, what they call IPD light, where you use a CM at risk contract delivery method with IPD methodologies, or the full IPD contract delivery method with the integrated form of agreement, right? But what I'm saying here is that choose your delivery method, but it's got to encourage more integration, more collaboration. And whatever you use, you have to be able to plan that job with the people that are going to execute it. And you have to be able to choose the most qualified team, not the lowest bidder. Okay? Oh, let me say this. I'm going to go one last thing here. I know this is a 12-minute video. It is unethical and immoral. It is not right to hold a contractor or a team accountable for a project they did not plan or could not have planned. Design, bid, build almost always forces the contractor into a situation where they couldn't plan. It is unethical. It is immoral. If you're going to do design, bid, build, if you're going to force that nonsense on your contractors, you've got to say, okay, we've selected you. Okay, the overall contract takes 6 months. Well, we're not going to have you start the project until 3 months because we've got to give you a third of the time to plan that job. That's my beef with design, bid, build. I'm going to link you to some really cool references with the DBIA website and also the certification program. I invite you to learn more about this because it'll change the rest of your career. I hope you've enjoyed this. Oh, also at Elevate, we provide that first planner system guidance, consulting. We can be right there with you as you're planning your project and going through this and setting up your project. We have the experience. If you need us, give us a call. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and on we go.